What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. Um, so yeah, about that screening event vlog. Trust me, guys, I really wanted to do it, and actually I did start doing it, but once we got to the event, it really it really was like I had no time to even plan anything. Like, or not plan, I mean, like, I didn't have time to, like, actually record or plan anything for the vlog. Like, it really was, like, go mode at that point, like, once we got to the venue. Because we had to set up, and then some people actually did come early. We said 7 o'clock for the event to start, but we really didn't intend on people to like start coming until like 7:30. You know how it is when you tell people a time and they just naturally show up later. That's what we were kind of expecting, but you'll be surprised how many people actually came to the event early. So we were basically setting up, and then we had to set up the projector and stuff like that. And then of course when people came, they wanted to talk to us, like me, my friend Seth, Al. Like, people really wanted to talk to us since we were the ones throwing the event. And then, even if I did want to start recording at that point, like, as we're showing our movies, people, of course, are giving us their thoughts on the movie, giving us like our praises and stuff like that. So I'm just so busy talking to different people. Like, I didn't even have time to even think, like, oh, I had my vlog camera with me. So as much as I wanted to do the vlog for the event, I was very much living in the moment. Now, I do have some recorded videos, which I will show right now.
Acting lazy and got a job. Look, I love you, but you need to grow up and get your shit together.
Hey, look. Nah, listen. After today, everything's gonna be different.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not giving you shit, nigga.
Oh shit! What is that? When it's not easy?
That's crazy.
Man, you broke, man.
So what you want
But yeah, that's really all I had from the event. I'm mad because I didn't even record my own Q&A for the movie. Like, I planned on having the Q&A recorded, and I saw that Seth had his recorded, but it didn't cross my mind to like ask somebody to record it for me. So like, I had the vlog camera there. I started the vlog, but sadly my mind was just all over the place. I was talking to so many people. I was also meeting a lot of new people too, a lot of other filmmakers just like me. So like, yeah, the fact that I was like, networking and also, running the event, like, I didn't really have time to really think about like, filming it, which my brother did give me some advice in the future for events like that. I should hire a cameraman so that I don't have to think about stuff like that. Look, I ain't big bucks over here. Like, I ain't make it in directing just yet. So I didn't really think about hiring anybody, but I guess in the future, I definitely will think about that. But yeah, man, I really wanted to get y'all that vlog, but you know but like I said, the little bit of footage that I do have, I already inserted it. And really, I just wanted to be transparent with y'all. I know some people would probably looking forward to that vlog, but I just forgot to do it. Or even if I forgot to vlog the whole thing, like, I wish I had the Q&A session. But soon I am supposed to be doing an interview, so that will probably make up for it. But besides that, man, screening event for Blood Money and Seth's movie, Before I Turn, went very well. We both got like a lot of, praises for our films and stuff like that. A lot of people were saying that both our films are great. So I have no reservation that like we really made some of the best short films of 2024. I know a lot of people probably feel that way when they make movies and stuff like that, but like you know, kind of like even what I said in the Q&A, like, you know, I had like people all my cast members were saying that my script was great, but not even just the script, but like the cameramen, Nick, Al, the actors, Chris, Lonnie, Aaliyah, Anthony, like all of them did an amazing job. And like I said in my Q&A session, like, you know, I couldn't have asked God for a better crew on my first short film. So it really it really did make it feel like it was the best short film of 2024. So, you know, I'm still going to push the movie to different festivals. I already submitted to 5, 1 declined, but 1 accepted. So I'm still waiting to hear from the other 3 that I submitted to. Um, More festivals I'm going to like submit to them, and I'm already working on my next film idea. It's definitely a different direction than a lot of people probably expected me to do. Is seeing how Blood Money is somewhat like a drama horror movie. Like, I didn't want to make another horror movie, at least not anytime soon. So I wanted to take a different direction, and I won't say who gave me the suggestion because I don't want to reveal anything about the next short film I'm doing. But just know that it is a romance movie, and it's going to be a very personal romance movie. And truth be told, when I write and I direct this movie, of course, I want my audience and like people that, you know, check out my content, that likes my work. Of course, I like y'all to enjoy it. But really, there is, I'll say, a select few people that if they love it, then I honestly don't care what anybody else has to say about it. Not saying that I don't appreciate the thoughts and like, you know, the criticisms that I'll get when that movie does eventually come to fruition. But with this one is just so personal that the people that are involved in it, if they love it, if they give the movie all its praises, then I honestly do not care what anybody else has anything good or bad to say about it. And it's not me trying to be ignorant, but it's just like it is a very personal movie, and the people involved, I want to get their blessing. And if they give me the blessing that they feel like it's a great movie, then yeah, that's all that really matters to me as far as that movie. So I can't wait for y'all to like see it whenever I do get it together. Right now, I am writing the script. Eventually, I got to find actors, and also I know the people involved do watch the podcast or listen to it. So if you know that I'm talking about you, please don't comment it down below. I want people to be blind with this movie. All I'm going to tell y'all is that the next movie is going to be a romance, and it is not going to be the same as Blood Money. That's the type of director that I do want to be in the future. I don't want my next move to be predictable. I want to be a versatile director, but I also want to be someone that, you know, I want to try new things. I always tell people all the time that, like, you know, I want to try all different types of films once I do make it. And I have a lot of different types of films. I have dramas, children's movies, comedies, a lot of comedies, since comedy is my favorite genre, horrors. Like, I got so many different ideas. Action is one that's hard for me, but I got so many like different film ideas, and I don't want to be just known as a one genre director. I want to tackle as many genres as I can. I even have a musical, like, you know, movie idea. So like I want to tackle so many different genres. So while I didn't even expect for me to do a romance right after Blood Money, I do feel like it does fall in line with what I ultimately want my career to be like. So yeah, going from a horror movie to a romance, it is going to be an interesting thing, but I cannot wait for you guys to find out more about this movie. And Blood Money isn't even out yet. I'm talking about my next movie when Blood Money isn't even out yet, but you know, that's how it is when you're a director, creative, you know, that's just how it is. But I went on that long rant, but basically I'm just saying that yeah, the screening event was a really good event, and you know, I hope, actually, I won't say I hope. I know a lot of people will enjoy the movie, just like when people saw the movie then. I hope you guys enjoy it when it does eventually come out, which I will tell y'all a release date when I hear back from more festivals. You guys know that festival runs, they're very serious about premiering movies at their festivals, or like being able to show their movies first before it gets online. So as more festivals give me, acceptances or declines, then I'll have more of an idea for a release date. But until then, a trailer is coming soon. I have clips uh prepared to go out whenever I want them to go out. So yeah, like I got a lot of stuff prepared for this movie. Just wait, y'all. I know it's been a long wait, but just wait. Um so yeah, enough of all that. Let's get into the topics for today's episode. And I really only have like three, but the first topic that I have is this Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion situation. So if you guys haven't heard, or if you're not really much of a rap fan, Nicki and Megan Thee Stallion has kind of been in a back and forth for years, and it all kind of stemmed from, well, there was a point in time when Megan first came into the game where Nicki and her was cool, to the point where, one of Megan's main things is the hot girl summer and stuff like that. And Nicki was actually on the official hot girl summer song with Megan. Like, she wanted to do that with Nicki. But I hear so many different stories about how the beef started, which I'm not really gonna dive into that. That's not what this video is about. It's not about like how it started. Like, I heard that it somewhat started with Megan being cool with Megan being cool with Cardi B, which Nicki has beef with Cardi B. I also heard that somehow it's linked to the Tory Lanez situation with Megan and Tory. Then I also heard stuff about, like, apparently Megan wanted Nicki to abort if Nicki did have a baby around the time that they were friends. So I just heard so many different things on why the beef started, but I'm not here to talk about why it started. I'm here to talk about the recent events. So recently, for ever since the whole Tory Lanez thing happened, a lot of people has spoken out about Megan and how they really feel about her and stuff like that. Now, overall, Megan is more favored in the public eye. Megan is still the person that people mostly, agree with and stuff like that when it comes to that situation. So Nicki, like I said, the beef started before that, but Nicki, I guess, didn't show full support of Megan, and because they've already had a long-standing beef, Nicki has had a few lines for Megan over the years, and Megan would also have some sneak disses back and forth, but things didn't really pop off until, I think, like last week, when Megan released her song Hiss, where she pretty much dissed like so many people that was talking about her for the past few years. To be honest, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I even said this to my friend Anthony. I did not care about nobody's else's, like, I didn't care what she had to say about nobody else. I didn't care what she had to say about Tory. That shit is old. Like, Tory's already convicted. He's in jail. Like, who cares about that situation? Megan, you won. I don't even feel like there's any more reason to really talk about it. Apparently she had a line at Iggy. Apparently she also had lines at Drake. Now, like I said, I didn't care about nothing that she, like, the only person I cared about her dissing was Nicki. But I'm not gonna lie though, even though I didn't care about the lines for Drake, she did go to hell in on Drake. I was like, that, wow. I didn't expect her to go at Drake like that. But yeah, I have to admit, those were some good lines. I actually think the lines about Drake hits more than the Megan's Law line, and I'll get to why I feel like that. But so yeah, like I said, she did send some shots at Nicki, and one of the main lines that everybody is pointing at is the Megan's Law line, where she's like, they're not mad at Megan, they're mad at Megan's Law. And if you guys don't know, Nicki's husband is a sex offender. He's actually registered. So whenever people go at Nicki, that's kind of one of the main things they always go after her for, which That's also why, like I said, I feel like Drake lines hits more than Nicki's, because to be honest, when you diss Nicki, like the number one thing people are going to say is, "Oh, your husband's a sex offender, your brother's a sex offender." Not saying that, that doesn't scathe, not saying that it doesn't hit, but I'm just saying that, like, if you're gonna diss Nicki, you gotta like come up with something new for it. Like that's why, and it's not even just the whole Nicki thing, but like when anybody disses somebody, if there's an obvious thing that everybody always says, like be creative, come up with something new. But overall, that line did scathe Nicki a lot, and she went on a whole tweeting spree, and she was previewing the diss song that she had towards Megan. Now, I heard the Megan diss. I heard that Megan diss. What do I think? Well, before I even get to my thoughts on the diss itself, I do want to say this. Nicki is probably one of my favorite female rappers, if not my favorite. I have spread my praises to her on this podcast. I have said that, like, Nicki is up there with some of the greats, like men, even in hip hop. Like, forget female rap. Like, she's up there with some of the greats. So, like, I want to say this and let Barb's don't go crazy at me. Anybody that's listening, don't go crazy at me, because I'm saying this as a Nicki fan. But I will say that in the past, Nicki has always kind of let me down when it comes to rap battles with other female rappers. Like, don't get me wrong, she can be entertaining on Instagram lives. Like, she had me dying laughing after Megan dropped her diss, and like some of the things she was saying definitely had me dying laughing. I'm not saying whether I agree with her or not, but I'm saying the way she said things and how she went about it did make me laugh. Not at her, but with her. But yeah, and then also she can have some good lines here and there where she's trying to diss somebody on songs. Like, she has good lines here and there. But when it comes to like actual diss tracks, she has always kind of disappointed me with that. Like, Stupid Ho is one. I really did not like that song at all. The beef with Remy Ma, like after Sheether, you dropped fucking No Frauds? That's the song you drop after Sheether? So, like, as much as I love Nicki Minaj, I swear I really do love her. But it's just like, bro, when it comes to like these rap beefs, these rap battles, like, you just haven't really proven that you can really do it that well. And in this case with Megan Thee Stallion, Bigfoot was fucking horrible. It was horrible. It was one of the worst, not even just diss tracks, but one of the worst songs I think I've ever heard. And I say this as a Nicki fan. I really did not want it to turn out like this. I genuinely didn't. I can show you guys the text messages between me and Anthony talking about this beef. And I can tell you that, like, I did not want it to be like this. I didn't want to say that Nicki really dropped the ball with this diss track, but I really feel like she did. I really feel like she did. And let me put it like this. The first time I heard it, I thought it was straight trash. I didn't see nothing redeemable about the diss at all. But I did re-listen to it like probably 2-3 more times. I picked up on some nice bars, but ultimately the song still isn't that good to me. But let me put it like this, because a lot of people will automatically say that, like, I'm saying Megan's diss was amazing or anything like that. I said Megan did all right. She did good, but she didn't blow me away either. But Nicki is more on the disappointed like type level for me. So if there is anything I am gonna praise about the song, I will say this: if she didn't tweet or preview most of what she was going to say, some of the stuff would have actually hit. But because she did, because we kind of got to know some of the things she was going to talk about, it was just like, it's almost like, if you guys ever seen The Rap Game, when the kids had like their rap battles against other people, and one thing that Jermaine Dupri and like the parents of the kids that were rapping, when they would tell them like, when you go into a battle, don't come up with obvious bars, don't come up with stuff that people are going to assume that you are going to say. And there was moments in the show where the kids were rap battling against each other, and there's times where the opponent and the people in the crowd would finish the line for that person, when it's like, you shouldn't be revealing your hand, or you shouldn't be saying obvious bars that, that people are going to know what you're already talking about. That's the point of a rap battle. You're supposed to expose, you're supposed to like, make them look in a bad light. But if you're saying things that people already had to say, like same thing I said about Megan, like how people always bring up her husband, or Nicki's husband, being a sex offender. You could say the same thing about Megan, about, oh, she looks really big for a woman, or that she had work done on her body, or stuff like that. Like that's stuff that people say all the time. And one thing I'd like to hope, because Nicki said that she had 5 songs, whether she denies it or not on Twitter. She posted it on Twitter and then denied it later, that she said that she had 5 songs in the tuck, just in case. Whether she denies it or not, she did put it out there that she had more diss songs ready for if Megan had anything slick to say or anything like that. And all I'm gonna say, hold on. I thought my laptop stopped recording. But all I'm going to say is, like, yeah, Nicki, you revealed too much of your hand. And I really like to hope that this song was just a warning shot, and that you have a real song in the tuck. Like, let me put it like this. This is basically your Charged Up. Because I don't care what nobody has to say about that Drake and Meek Mill beef. People say Drake won because of back-to-back. But if Drake left it to just Charged Up, people really wouldn't have been, that so on Drake's side, because people don't talk about Charged Up. Even to this day, the main song you hear people say is Back to Back. People don't care about Charged Up. So, like, yeah, I feel like this, if Nicki is gonna drop another song, I feel like, I really hope that this is her Charged Up. This is the one that people don't really rock with that much, but with just, a leading point to the real diss, which was Drake's Back to Back. So, Nicki, you kind of disappointed me on that one. But this bleeds into my next topic, because the conversation of something that Nicki said in the diss track is something that built a bigger conversation that I kept seeing on Twitter and even TikTok. So one of the disses that Nicki said to Megan was how Nicki brought up that Megan, or that she feels like Megan was lying on her dead mom when it came to the Tory situation, when it came to like a lot of the controversies she'd been in. Nicki was saying that Megan lied on her dead mom. And a lot of people hate that Nicki brought up Megan's dead mom. Now, when I first found out that she brought up Megan's mom, I thought she said something negative about Megan's mom. But she just brought up the fact that she felt like Megan lied on her mom. Now, this is going to be a controversial opinion. But let me put it like this, and this is also what I said to my friend Anthony, because he didn't also like that Nicki brought up Megan's mom. But here's what I told him, and this is also, like, I always admit to people, sometimes I'm a hypocrite. A lot of times, we're human. We can be hypocrites. So here's my opinion on stuff like that. Well, first, my overall opinion, but then I'll get to stuff like that. So overall, when it comes to a rap beef, what is the point of a rap beef? That is getting on wax, embarrassing your opponent, basically making your opponent like give up, like saying the most disrespectful things you do, and you say what you need to do to make your opponent give up in a rap beef. Now, I'm not talking about like getting physical and stuff like that, but I'm talking about battle raps. I'm talking about when you diss each other in rap. traditionally you make your opponent look horrible, whether that's bringing up family members, make embarrassing their past, like just talking about your opponent. Like that is the point of a rap battle. That is the point of a rap beef. Now, nothing physical happened towards Nicki and Megan. Because some people are going to say, oh, well, she talked about it off a song. So, like, but that's the thing. Nothing physical ever happened. So I'm not going to say this is a real beef. I'm still saying this is just a rap beef. Because yes, while Nicki said that on an Instagram live, she never did anything physical. That's when I feel like things really escalate to another point, when things get physical, when you guys actually throw hands or weapons are involved or stuff like that. But right now, it's only been songs and Instagram lives and social media posts. So I feel like Nicki bringing up Megan's mom, I feel like it's very hypocritical of people. And here's also where I say I'm a hypocrite. Because my thing is, I don't like when things get physical, and bringing up people's dead parents is going to take it to that realm of physicality. Because I know most likely when Megan heard that, she probably did want to put hands on Nicki, but because she's a celebrity, she has to uphold herself to a better standard than most of us would if somebody did bring up a dead family member. So I understand that, and I don't like when things get physical. I like it to just stay on wax. I like it to stay strictly music. But I am human. I do acknowledge that, like, that can take it to a physical level, but at the same time, rap beefs are rap beefs. That's just part of rap beefs. Like, that's just part of it. And this brings me to my biggest thing about what is too far when it comes to rap battles, because my thing about it is this: people pick and choose when to be mad about, like, you know, bringing certain things up, or people pick and choose when it comes to certain people and artists. This is not me defending Nicki, but this is just me stating facts that people just seem to be ignoring right now, because we had 50 Cent joke about people's dead homies or family members on songs and stuff like that. We had literally Gucci Mane and Jeezy have a versus battle, and Gucci is performing the song where he is dissing the guy in Jeezy's camp that he killed. And in the middle of that versus battle, while the song is playing, he is saying, go dig up your homie. Go dig him up from the grave. Like, he is literally looking in that man's face and saying that. And people was fucking with it when they watched that versus. Then you have the whole Chicago drill scene where people stay talking about, we smoking on 2 packs, we smoking on this pack. Like, people stay disrespecting dead people and stuff like that. So Nicki, not even really saying anything disrespectful, just bringing up the fact that she brought up her mom. The fact that Nicki just said, oh, you're lying on your mom. That is, and I'm not saying that's not messed up. Like, I'm not saying that it's not messed up. But I am saying that people need to stop picking and choosing what's cool when it comes to some of these rap battles and some of these rap beefs. Because how is it that for some artists, we're rocking with the fact that they're bringing up dead family members or dead friends, but then when it came to Nicki, who said something so not much less disrespectful, but it's still disrespectful, but it is still less disrespectful than if Nicki was to go up to Megan's face and say, dig up your mom. Like, that's what Jeezy did, or that's what Gucci did to Jeezy. And then it's not like Nicki got on the song and said, we smoking on your mom pack or something like that. Like, some people pick and choose when they want to be cool with stuff like that. But then, because the outrage I saw from Nicki bringing up Megan's mom was so much more than I would have seen for the outrage of other stuff like that. Like, that is crazy. And even, you got other artists like NBA Youngboy, don't go crazy if you do ever happen to see this, but even artists like NBA Youngboy has somewhat of a career dissing dead ops and making allusions or, you know, subliminals to dead people that he beefed with and stuff like that. So what necessarily is too far in rap? And like I said, this isn't me defending Nicki Minaj. This is not me saying that what she did is right, but I'm just trying to get an answer here. Like, what is too far? Cause y'all rocking with some people doing that, but then y'all not rocking with other people. And I'm not saying, I wasn't saying that to Anthony because he doesn't condone it when anybody else does. But I'm just saying that like the big backlash that I seen Nicki get on the internet over that part, I hope everybody has that same energy when it comes to like these other rappers doing that. Because personally, me, I've said it on this podcast before, I don't like when rappers do stuff like that. I don't like when they push so much negativity and talk about dead people and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm not ignorant to what, you know, some of rap culture is. And some of rap culture is people being that disrespectful to their opponents. So I'm not trying to say that it's right, but I'm also not being ignorant to what it is. Like, it is what it is. And that's not me defending Nicki. That's not me saying that what she said was right. But it just like, if we're gonna call one person out, we gotta have that same energy. It's kind of like what I said over the summer. I did an episode about YNW Melly, where people were saying that he deserves life for what he did, but then the same people are also the same ones saying that TK should be free. And it's like, one person killed their friends and another person killed like completely innocent people. So it's like, why are y'all saying kill one and then free the other? And then some people will bring up excuses like, oh, TK was a kid, TK was a teen. I mean, around the time that Melly, because also people like bringing up how Melly shot up his school, he was a teen then. So what are the excuses for one person being a teen and one person not being a teen? I'm not saying that neither situation is right, but I am saying that keep the same energy for every single person. That's my overall message with these topics. I don't know, man. If y'all watching in the comments, let me know how y'all feel about Nicki bringing that up and what I said about what is too far in rap and like people picking and choosing. Because personally, me, I don't feel like that's right to do, but you know, people are going to say and do what they want and people are going to have their opinions. There's probably somebody in the comments that's going to go down telling me how I'm completely wrong about my stance. And I'm not really trying to hear whether I'm right or wrong. I just want to know that we're all on the same page, that like we're not going to pick and choose who we're going to accept that from. Because really, in all reality, nobody should be talking about nobody dead. Doesn't matter. Friends, family, nothing. So yeah. Um Completely changing course for my very last topic, because at first I was gonna leave the episode here, but then I woke up this morning and I saw some news that me and not really a lot of other people on Twitter, I don't care if you call it X, but me and a lot of other people on Twitter are not very happy about. So one thing that I've talked about already on this podcast is my thoughts on the Avatar Netflix series. And they've been putting out a lot of information recently. You know, they released the trailer, which it was a pretty cool trailer, but I don't know why something in me was also saying like, I'm very excited the trailer was good, but I don't know. I was very hyped for the teaser, but I don't know what it was about the trailer. Like when I watched the trailer, I'm still hyped. I still think it looks good, but I do want to reserve my thoughts until I actually watch the show. I don't know why. It's just something in me when I saw that trailer said, Tevin, hold out your opinion. Hold out your opinion just for a little bit, dude. Just for a little. So I don't know. I guess I'll figure that out when the show comes out. Maybe that was just me having PTSD from the Last Airbender. Because here's one thing I do want people to remember: Last Airbender, the trailers look good for that too. Like a lot of people don't remember. I was growing up in that era where like we were all looking at the posters, trailers, all of that. Like I was a kid witnessing this stuff about like the Last Airbender. And I do remember, because a lot of people hate the movie now, and like, you know, and what's the word? You know, when you're looking back at it. When you look back at it, people hate it now. But if you remember that time when the movie wasn't out yet and we were getting posters, trailers, all of that, people genuinely thought the movie looked like it was going to be good. So maybe that's just my PTSD from like back then. Like I don't want to get too excited because I know how it was. And it's so crazy because even the day that I was supposed to go, I still vividly remember this day. Me and my dad went to go see The Last Airbender because my parents knew I was a big Avatar fan. They knew I was a big Avatar fan. So my mom dropped me off at my dad's place so that we could go see The Last Airbender that day. I was so excited. But on the way there, my mom, which is crazy because, you know, my mom mostly listens to black radio stations, and 9 times out of 10, if it wasn't a Tyler Perry movie or a Spike Lee movie, they weren't really talking about like movies on the radio. But whatever station she was listening to that day, they brought up The Last Airbender, and she was like, Tevin, before I drop you off, I'm just letting you know I'm not hearing a lot of good things about this movie. You sure you still want to see that? She was asking me because she was like, your dad still said he'll take you to the movies and that you guys can still see something else, but are you sure you want to see The Last Airbender? Because I haven't been hearing good things. And I was like, yeah, I want, because I've always been a kid where like people will hate things, but I'll still love it anyway. Like even Grown Ups too. People hate Grown Ups too, but I love it. Like it is one of my favorite movies of all time. Am I gonna sit here and say that it's a filmmaking masterpiece? No, but I still love Grown Ups too, despite how many people hate it. And sorry if I'm looking it up. Like I'm using a different light for this episode, so I don't know why I'm just so glued to this light instead of like the actual camera. But yeah, like I said I wanted to go see it anyway. Saw The Last Airbender. The first time I saw it, I didn't hate it, but I did feel disappointed. And then as time went on, yeah, I did grow to hate it to the point where I can't. There was one day where me and my friend was watching it for fun, and like at one point, I just got so mad at the movie I had to turn it off. I'm like, I can't even fun watch this movie. Like watch it just to hate it. Like I genuinely just hate the movie to where I'm just not even having fun with it at all. So, okay, I went on a whole story, but basically, yeah, so they've been releasing a lot for this Netflix adaptation, the trailer, stuff like that. You know, the showrunner of the show basically started doing interviews about some of the things that we can expect to be different. One of the things definitely being like the timeline of the show. Because if you look at the original show, it took place basically in 1 year. But you know, because we're working with real children, real people that's actually growing up, basically they made it so that Sozin's Comet is still going to happen, and that still is going to be the thing that checks off everything in the story, but they're not gonna contain it to just 1 year. Like they're gonna do something to where, you know, it can take place over years. So yeah, so that it allows the kids to grow, but also like so that it doesn't really mess up the story. But here's the change that I saw this morning that's gotten a lot of backlash, and that is Sokka. They dialed down his sexism in the show. Now, this isn't me saying that his sexism was good, but it's actually the complete opposite. Sokka's sexism was actually one of his big character traits in the season, in the first season, and it basically was the launching pad for his journey in the show. If you look at Sokka, a lot of his character traits from the beginning, he has his heart in the right place, but he's not that great of a warrior or a leader just yet. He's very sexist to women, and that he only sees men as superior. Like, that was part of his personality in season 1, but that was the beauty of his story, because just in a few episodes of season 1, when they went to Kyoshi, he learned how strong women can be and that they're just as capable as men. He learns to be a great leader. He learns to be a great soldier. Like, this is basically part of Sokka's growing in the show. And from what the actress that plays Katara and the showrunner has said, they dialed down his sexism. And actually, I don't even actually I gotta find it somewhere, but it doesn't even say that they dialed it down. It sounds I think if I remember it, she said that they got rid of his sexism. And while I won't say that will completely destroy Sokka's character, that does take away a big part of his story arc in season 1. So I don't know why they did that, but this isn't, for me, this isn't just about Sokka, sexism and stuff like that. Like, it's completely needed. I don't think it's completely needed, but I do think that there had to be some. Oh, I got a notification on my phone. I do think there does need to be that aspect of his character because that is a big part of his character. But what this kind of brings up for me, and this is also one reason that I am still reserved a little bit, as much as this adaptation looks good, I am still reserved because we really don't know what it was that made the original creators leave. It was said that they left due to creative differences with Netflix and that they went on to make their own studio so that they can do what they want. But my thing is, we still don't know directly what is those creative differences that led the original creators to leave. And this could possibly be one of them. Like, this could be an example of what caused them to leave. Because, like I said, even though that's not fully Sokka's character, you are still taking away a big part of his story arc and taking away a big part of his growth. So, who's to say that they might not take? Who's to say they might take out other stuff that are very important to characters and stuff like that? So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let me know how you feel down below. If anybody does feel like commenting, like, how do you feel about this whole Sokka situation? But really, overall, do you guys have any reservation or fears of what those changes could really be? And now, I'm not going to go into the show negatively. I'm not going to go into the show trying to hate it, because ultimately, I do want a good Avatar adaptation. The Last Airbender was complete trash, and I do want an adaptation that I can be proud of, that that Avatar definitely deserves, because Avatar is like one of my favorite series of all time. In terms of serialized shows that tell a complete story from beginning to end, Avatar is the best series, in my opinion, in that market. Because, I know I talk about Power constantly. I know I talk about how much I love Power. But one thing I've said before the Power finale came out, I said if they do the finale just right, then this will be my favorite serialized show that tells a complete story from beginning to end. If they stick the landing in the finale just right, then this will be over Avatar, in my opinion. Because the only competition for Power was Avatar, when it came to storytelling. But with Power, while I have grown to somewhat appreciate the ending of this show, I still feel like it wasn't the natural ending that fans deserved. So so Avatar still has that role for me. And not saying that I think that live action show could be better than the animated series, but I want an adaptation that will do that series justice, because it is one of the greatest shows of all time. Whether you look at it as a kids show, adult show, no matter what you look at it as, it is one of the greatest shows of all time. So I want this adaptation to be good, but we just got to see about it. We just got to see about it, man. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about that down below. Just let me know how you feel about everything we talked about in today's episode. Also, sorry for not putting this episode out on Tuesday. I'm actually recording this on Tuesday. I was just very busy these last few weeks. I just been very busy. So, I didn't get a chance to film the episode these past few days, but here we are, I'm right here filming this. I'll probably drop this on Friday. Like I said, right now I'm recording this on Tuesday the 30th, so I'll probably drop this episode Friday, and then, next week we'll go back to our Tuesday schedule as always. So yeah, man. Like I said, let me know how y'all feel about the topics that I brought up. Give me your 2 cents. And yeah, with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. Catch you on the next one.